What's up, y'all? We're going to kick off today's pregame flow with some forearm release work. So this is referred to commonly as SMR, but that's, way too convoluted of a term for us. Essentially what we're doing here is we're just massaging the forearm muscle to get some blood flow in there and kind of set us up for some of the stretching and mobility that we're about to do. You can see that I'm essentially grabbing my forearm muscle and I'm rotating it from side to side. I really like to move from inside to outside to start with, but that area by my elbow there is very tender, especially from gaming and exercising, so I'm really trying to massage it and knead it out. That out to in movement can also be coupled with in to out movement, which is what I'm about to start doing right here. Moving down toward the wrist and the thumb where it connects in there, I'm going to go ahead and be rotating from in to out now. And there may not be as much of a feeling like you're working on muscle when you get down into that like tendinous fibrous area there down by the wrist. But this kind of palm massage where I'm really pushing my body weight into it and kind of sliding through the thumb joint there is what's going to help me out a lot. Quick shake, then I'm on to the other side. Same basic concept, moving from out to in, kind of taking care of that thicker outer forearm muscle there, really trying to get some blood into it. You don't have to be gentle with this. It's pretty much as you can take without it being painful is kind of where you want to be at. You'll develop a threshold for it rather quickly, but in these initial phases, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it'll immediately feel like you're getting some blood into that tissue, and it's going to feel pretty solid. So once again, working down toward the wrist and the thumb joint. And now I'm going to start to work from in to out as I'm working that inner forearm muscle there. You got a lot of forearm muscle going on, and you don't really realize until you get in there and you start feeling around that there's a whole lot of stuff in there that could cause you issues, especially when we're gaming and we're using a large amount of wrist, hand, and forearm muscles to make that happen. So really massaging it out and getting in there deep, trying to make sure that I'm pressing through that thumb joint and that fibrous area there and kind of restoring as much movement and getting as much blood flow into that hard to get to area as I possibly can. And then lastly, I'm going to close out with just a little bit more SMR right in purposely through that thumb joint. Can get nice and sticky in there, so we want to try to get something happening. You can see once I finish this up, I'm going to give a quick rotation, and then I'm on to my gorilla rocks. Now, gorilla rocks are one of my favorite movements. As you can see here, I start up on the knuckles, and then I kind of push the entire top of my hand down onto the mat, and I start to rotate around at the elbow joint. So as I push down onto the mat, I'm already going to feel like an initially strong stretch. That rotation of the elbow joint out, which I do there and then back in, is allowing me to feel that stretch kind of move into different areas, kind of the dark corners of your forearm, which you don't really know exist until you start to move around in there, and then you're like, oh, I've never felt that stretch before. That's kind of what we're aiming for here. So gorilla rocks are great. I'm going to do about 4 to 5 of these on each side, making sure that I'm feeling that stretch in the right areas. And then from there, I'm going to move on to one of my favorite stretches, which is the another gorilla rock variation where I'm going to set my palms down and I'm going to face my fingers toward my body. And now, as you can see here, I'm in that dual kneeling position here, and then I kind of sit back into Thunderbolt. This is a great position for us to operate out of quadruped, which means all four on all fours on the ground, or in Thunderbolt, are positions that we as gamers don't get to see very often. Helps to clear up a lot of things that may be going on with the knees, the calves, the ankles, even the hips a little bit. So I'm even turning that into a little bit of hip mobility as I lean back and feel that stretch in through the forearms. Lastly, this is our final variation of the gorilla rock. I'm going to face my palms toward each other, and now I'm rocking from side to side. And as soon as I'm done feeling a stretch there, I'm going to get right back to that SMR work, really using my body weight to push in to the palms there, pushing into that thumb joint. And that's gonna wrap up our pregame flow today, man. Your forearms, hands, and wrists should be ready to rock now. Hope you guys enjoy your gaming. We will catch you guys very soon. Thanks for tuning in. AXYS Esports Performance out.